says me to the beat. Without no regret, you got no love. Without no love, you got no regret. Without no regret, you got no love. A melody where I belong in this life.
Welcome back to T-Boys TV. Back again with a Hat Show, obviously episode 51. Obviously in this episode we'll be discussing that game against Newport, which it's going to be no holds barred from me. I'm not sure about my dad, but it's going to be no holds barred from me. A lot of players got their opportunity and they fluffed it, and yet there's still players who can't actually play in their actual position. They get put in a position that they're just not going to be able to do well in. So yeah, that's what we got to discuss in that, and then obviously preview the game against Preston tomorrow. So yeah, let's get into some comments. Welcome to the most underrated show, says Hanno. Big up yourself, mate. I mean, if you think that, then fair enough, mate. You know what I mean? Tyler, how far are you from 1.22k? I'm 10 subscribers away from that. Up the town, says Stephen. But as always, I'm joined with my dad. How are we, Dad?
Yeah, all good, mate. All good. I hope you're all right as well, mate.
Yeah, I'm all right. Obviously, some of you saw the start of last stream. Just, it's just one of them. Do you know what I mean? Like I said, I'm not going to get into it too much. But yeah, that's that. Big up Blue Terrier. He says, hello. Big up yourself, mate. But yeah, obviously, like I said, we'll be discussing that Newport game and Preston. So let's just get straight into it. So, midweek, played Newport, and yeah, let's just say our score predictions were way off. And Dad, you're getting a bit of love like always.
Big up on it. Big up Hanno as well.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And big up Kian. He says, yes, T, off to Cardiff tomorrow in this heat. Yeah, good luck with that.
Yeah, that's the thing. This heat's not it's just draining, man. I hate it. It's too much, man.
Yeah, even when flies keep coming in your room, it's annoying. But yeah, obviously, our predictions were way off. I thought, it wouldn't be like last year in the sense Stevenage was a derby as well. We're away. I thought we'd have this one. But very disappointing. But Dad, talk to me about the lineup, and I'll read it out to you. Tell me what you thought of it, and I'll let you say what I'm going to do today. I'm going to let you say your thoughts on the first half, second half, and I'll go into mine. So the lineup was obviously Macy in goal, Burke, Lansbury, Lockyer at the back, Mendes, Gomez, Berry, Watson, Piera, and Woodrow, Jerome, Musquay. What did you make of that when you saw that?
Well, that team on paper should have been capable of getting the win. You expected most of them players to play. Macy in goal, probably Lockyer, Mendes, Gomez, Piera, but maybe not Lansbury in defence was a bit of a weird one. Like if I'm sorry, we ain't got the cover. Is Bradley injured? We rested him. He had Osho on the bench. All right, come off a cramp in the previous game, but he could have played a half. We got youngsters, Teat and all that. I don't know. I just found it a bit weird, that one. And then Piera and Mendes Gomez, they both know they're attacking players. So rest we still work on with Bree and Bell to be defensive. Sort of neglected. I think it was a bit strange. We're meant to have this massive squad depth, but then we ain't got no one else can play left and right. You know what I'm saying? Or they're injured or whatever. But that team should have been capable of beating Newport. There's no excuses for me. Obviously, very disappointed. We couldn't watch it. We couldn't even get a stream or anything. So I ended up going old school and listening to it on the local radio station. We had this to it together, and we knew after a while because they scored. I was like, this is Stevenage all over again. Do you remember? It was Stevenage all over. I knew. Late on, they took Burke off and then replaced him with a youngster, Martin. I think it was Williams. Sorry. And I was thinking that they're tasting blood. Do you know what I mean? They're going to be on that, and that's what happened. The performance just wasn't there. Like I don't know what. Obviously, Jones has got to take some of that. It's like I said to you or in the show previous. Like I want to see that whoever he picks play like how Luton play, and they didn't. Out of possession anyway. Going forward, yeah, they did, and they showed their ability and certain confidence and stuff like that. But I was only, you know what I mean. But it weren't enough. There was a couple of glimpses of good performances and that, but this is this kind of performance what Luton used to be like a few years ago, and Nathan Jones has turned that around. He's 100% turning that around, and it seems like we went back. I don't know what it was. It's just a very strange one, but I think it's a combination of a few things. Macy was poor. He was poor. I feel like the last goal, yeah, he fucked that up. The previous goal, you know, it just seemed like he was just standing in the wrong position. Do you know what I'm saying? Obviously, we should, but normally, like someone will come to the rescue or whatever, or someone will pull off a great save, or it wouldn't get to it. So they bypassed us. They thought, hey, cheeky fuckers. But they made changes as well. That's it, you know. Certain players just didn't perform at all, or were just there. We were all over them in the first half, and I said to you, like, "No, we should be all right. We should be all right." And it just mate, Lansbury was actually doing all right in defence, but I think they were giving us respect in the first half, and then once they realised that they could crack us open, they were like, "I think we're just going to go for it." You know, put them under pressure, see if they can hack it. There wasn't that togetherness, and that's. I don't think it's as big as a worry because of last season. It's very, very similar. The performance was, you know, we still managed to do football with Stevenage, even though we played pretty shit, or some players played shit, and then a couple of players didn't play for Luton again after that.
Yeah,
so we want to be careful. I'm disappointed with Musgrave, like. Had his back and that, but he needs to go out on loan. He needs to go out on loan and get some proper game time under his belt because he has got the ability, but he's a bit part. You can't be playing for 60 minutes here and there and all this shit playing against under. He needs to go out on loan because it's stalling him. Pierre, I'd keep because he was involved. He's probably, you know, I'd give him, you know, these, you know. Good ratings. He created the second Lockier's goal. He was dangerous, but certain players just didn't perform at all. And you know, Berry was one of them. Lansbury, I don't know, you can't really. You know, he's in defence, so you can argue that. Well, I don't play in defence. You can't. You know, Macy was poor. But you're not going to, you know, he's still going to be second choice keeper at the moment. Or not. Maybe Iceland will start coming on the bench, but I feel like they're not just going to drop him just because of that one performance. But you never know. You never know. Because the goalkeeping situation is Horace going to play. Simple as that. You know, so and we ain't got a chance to, because we got knocked out. You know, if we got someone, a League One, League Two team in the next round, then we maybe could have tried out, you know, different players or whatever. Put Iceland in goal. Now you ain't even got that opportunity. You're just gonna have to keep playing them in these development games and shit like that. Because obviously, if Iceland starts doing better in training than Macy's doing, then he'll get on the bench, mate. So I didn't expect Macy to start because obviously he's looking to be the number 2. But after that performance, he's just held himself back. Lockyer wasn't great. Yeah, he scored that goal, but he wasn't switched on. He wasn't switched on. You have to be constantly switched on, otherwise you're dropping levels. If you drop levels, you're not starting. You're not working hard enough.
You're going to have a massive lack of game time. Yeah, exactly.
So you're going to have to build that back. You're going to hope someone gets injured in that. And I said last season, Burke was just getting better and better for me.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah.
So yeah, the first half was we was all right. I thought, yeah, we should be all right, you know. And then just after that, I don't know what happened. No, and then they started. The ref was poor. You know, I just want to clear that up as well. Like certain people were saying that. Loads of jokes saying it's the worst individual performance he's ever seen, and people were like taking out. Oh yeah, it must have been Macy. Oh yeah, it must have been Lockie. Or it wasn't. It was the ref he was on about. 100% the ref. He's not going to call someone out like that anyway.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I just fucking, read it properly. I'm not getting. It was disappointing because they but it's their issue now. Them players, certain of them, because they're just fucked themselves up. And I ain't looking into it because we had exactly the same last season, and we nearly got promoted. We've got a better squad this time. Certain players will be going out on loan, and there's still players that we keep forgetting about, and we've got that. We have got that depth to know that, we could change the whole 11 tomorrow, who are used to play, with the quality and do well. So I try not to, but it's just disappointing. But also, 9 other championship teams, or 10 if you include Millwall, were played before.
I was going to say a lot of
they all got knocked out. So the odds on that.
Just quickly, I think it was everyone bar the ones that played each other. I think literally everyone.
Yeah, basically. And then the Wednesday, it was a different story. Blackburn won, whatever. Maybe they looked at that and thought, oh, well, we ain't going to let that happen to us, kind of thing. So it is kind of unprecedented. I don't think I've ever seen that before. Every single championship team getting knocked out by lower league opposition. Bizarre. I mean, I'd like to see what the odds were on that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Probably like 1,000 to 1.
Yeah,
so. But I'm not. Our goals are good. Mendes Gomez's goal was fucking brilliant. Brilliant confidence from him. Yeah, the keeper got a touch to it, but the keeper. It was a great shot. The keeper made a couple of good saves, actually, I think. But yeah, the confidence on the guy. I wouldn't want to keep putting him out on loan. I'd keep him. I'd keep him in and around the squad because he just needs. I think he's nearly there, and he's got the confidence. So.
Yeah, just quickly before I say my thoughts. Ty, check the likes. Yeah, I know. I think we're getting stream raided. I think a lot of it's bots. We have actually got 207 likes, Dad. But I'm pretty sure it's bots. Apparently, there's 25 people in here. Most of them are probably bots. But if you're not, big up yourself. But no, absolutely. I'm going to go through some more comments. I just feel a bit battered everywhere they go. Newport proves our squad depth isn't as strong as we thought. Yeah, disappointing performances at the same time. People had the opportunities and they bottled it, to be honest. And this is difficult, stuff like this, because we didn't see the game like that. So we don't know. A lot of people said it was good, but, I've heard a bit of mixed.
I listened to it. Yeah, I think he was all right on the ball and that, but he's not ready for the first team yet, in my opinion. I'd say Thorpe's probably ahead of him. Piera's probably ahead of him as well.
Oh, Piera's got to be ahead of him. Like, no disrespect,
it's probably, but I didn't see. So I just heard, and the commentators weren't the usual commentators either. So it was a bit like, yeah, I passed it, going quiet for 2 seconds. You know what I mean? Like, it's not. So it was hard to gauge that. But I've heard that he was quite decent, but I wouldn't be that excited about it at the moment. Do you know what I mean?
Nah.
For me, the issue is with me is the players that have played already for the first team, Lockyer, or should be ready, Macy, Berry, Jerome, Woodrow, what else was it? Yeah, they're the main ones. They underperformed, mate, massively.
Yeah. Yeah, no, fair enough. Yeah, for me, it's, I know he's saying, like, he's not going to break through because he had one good game. But yeah, for me, I'm not getting too gassed about it because, like I said, there's definitely people ahead of him. Piera, like, Do you know what I
Yeah,
mean? So
to me, he has to. Like, he's been consistent as well, mate. Through through the friendlies and that, the XO friendlies, whatever. You know what I mean? But he's still been consistent. He's creating 9 out of 10 chances in that game. You know what I'm saying? Like, so, and he was frozen out. You know, he went on loan and stuff last season, so he deserves to be in and around squad, in my opinion. But you know, I'm not the manager, but I'd be kicking him ahead of certain players, mate.
yeah, no, absolutely. Big up Hanno for this. Smash the likes and sub if you are new. Yeah, please do. Exactly. Schofield out, obviously Blue Terror Huddersfield fan. Big up Manny Bird. This is the person I keep going on about. You know, when we play Huddersfield, I'll get him on at least once for the game. Planning to bring him on for one and Brad for the other. He was on the very first time. So yeah. But yeah, that's obviously your thoughts on it, Dad. My thoughts on it. Very good start, of course, like we mentioned. Mendes Gomez, very good strike. Yeah, the keeper got a touch on what Dad said, but at the end of the day, it's a brilliant, effort to go for at the end of the day. My thoughts on the lineup as well. I was disappointed that Lansbury's in defence. I really was. Just sometimes since he's been at Luton, there's been games where he has been all right, but there's been a lot where he's just not been good enough. And, that's what I mean by sometimes he can't even play his own position, let alone why are you putting him in that position? Yeah, a lot of people go, we haven't got the options and that sort of thing. Osho was on the bench. If he's all right to be on the bench, and surely he's all right to play a half, like you mentioned. I just don't really understand it there. Obviously, Bradley clearly got told he can have a rest, which, I do understand it in a way. But then again, if you're going to say that excuse, then why is he not there then? Do you know what I mean? It just doesn't really make sense. Other than that, it's pretty much what I expected. Macy in goal, likes of Piera, Mendes Gomez. I was thinking of putting him in my lineup when we done ours. But then I was thinking, about the others. Woodrow expected, Jerome expected, a lot of them.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, going into the game, so obviously that happened. And then, shortly after, Mendes Gomez went down. I haven't seen it. They didn't show it on the highlights. Like we said, it's difficult to actually watch the game. Like we said, apparently went down and then they scored from it. I can't really remember the first goal, to be honest with you. I'm not going to lie. I can remember the second and third goal that they scored. But yeah, obviously 1-1. And then obviously Lockyer got a goal. Like we mentioned, very good strike by Lockyer. But yeah, actually defensive, he was not overly great defensively in the game. And then shortly after, again, literally Stevenage vibes, like you mentioned, Dad. They literally score again. Now, this is for me, it was too easy. It's too easy. Lansbury was not, I don't want to slate him too much because he's not a defender. But then again, that's where he was playing. I've got to say it how it is, in my opinion. He's ball watching. He's not even watching the guy. Boom, goal. Just like that. And like you said, Macy's positioning, I thought, was a bit questionable in that goal as well. And then, we do subs that make you feel, oh, okay, yeah, we're going out to win this. Bringing on Cornick, bringing on Morris, bringing on Osho for Lansbury. And then we do a substitution where I'm like, yeah, we were saying to each other, yeah, that's probably it now. And that's no disrespect to the youngster. It's just he never got a chance. You're bringing off Reece Burke. You're giving him more chance by exploiting us defensively of how poor, Lockyer was defensively, and it cost us. Woodrow, I think he maybe should have been a bit stronger, to be fair. And then obviously they got the ball, played it through. Macy literally parried it right in front of them, 3-2, just like that. Very disappointing in that aspect. And like you said, Nathan Jones, big up himself and that, but he does have to, take a bit of the blame, a little bit. He does. So yeah, that's what I say on that. Yeah, a lot of poor performances. There's a few really good, well, not really good, but there's a few good ones like Piera. Obviously got an assist. For me, like I said, he's got to have his stamp on. He's got to be on the bench, going into the season now, 100%. And I think he could have that impact where he could be like a super sub. So yeah, we'll have to see about that. But that's my thoughts on the game. Disappointing. I thought we'd go through this time. Especially with it being at home, and yeah, but it just turned out to be very disappointing. And it's one of them. And obviously we're going to discuss the Preston game now. And for me, it's not one of them where I'm worried going into this game because like we said, most of these players will not be starting or might not even play again. Some of them, So I don't look at that too much, but it was disappointing. I did want a little bit of a cup run, especially no disrespect to them. Congratulations to them. They done really well, but
Yeah,
feel when we get them sort of ties at home, we should, but especially in the league difference as well. Like it's just annoying in that aspect. But is there anything else you want to say before we move on to the next game?
no, just keep the faith. Don't let that, cloud your judgment of what a fantastic squad we still do have, and manager and stuff like that. And I know it's easy to do, especially being from the older generation. The Luton dude, they were like that, but I can't see it being a big issue, to be honest with you.
No.
Just keep the faith and just see what happens. Still the FA Cup. I'd rather get promoted, you know what I mean? I'd rather, like last year, if someone said, yeah, you're going to lose to Stevenage, but you're going to finish in the playoffs, I'd say that all day long, and I'll take that all day long again, you know what I'm saying? So I'm not, it ain't like we win competition anyway, but you want people, the whole squad firing on all cylinders, and they've just let themselves down a little bit as well. Right? And maybe it's a little bit of a learning curve because he does make quite a few changes. Even if we played like Man United or Chelsea, like it's like, yeah, I'm not playing Addy, but I'm not, you know what I'm saying? Like, which is good to a certain extent, but then times it's worked. It's worked them times. Because we've still got the majority of the players that wanna, that don't need to prove anything to a certain extent. So is what it is. To see what happens. Concentrate on the league. Maybe it's a blessing in disguise. Maybe it's kicks them players up the arse. Think, well, I can't really do that again this season.
Yeah, no, absolutely, absolutely.
You want to go Grimsby? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Manny, obviously, Huddersfield fan, like I said, he reckons we'll beat Preston 3-0. What I will say, obviously, we will do a little preview sort of thing, What I will say is we do actually tend to do really well in recent years at home against them. Away, I remember last year lost 2-0, but at home, obviously that's where we're playing. Obviously last year beaten 4-0 midweek. I think Berry scored a double that game. I can't remember who else scored. And then I remember one year James Collins scored a hat-trick and won 3-0. So we tend to actually get some, big wins against Preston. So it's gonna be interesting in that aspect. Obviously, last games, we just spoke about a Newport one, and obviously they beat Huddersfield quite convincingly. But then obviously league games they drew 0-0 to Hull, and from what it sounded like, it sounded like Hull were poor and they were just didn't take their chances. Preston, from what I heard, I didn't see anything of it. And then obviously as for us, obviously that really good draw away against Burnley. So that's obviously the last games there. So yeah, Dad, how are you feeling going into this one? Obviously, you said you're not feared due to what happened midweek in that aspect.
No, I think we'll have everyone's had a little bit of certain players a bit of rest. Most of that team that played against Burnley will probably start. Probably 90%, and we just carry on from where we've the way we've been for the last year and whatever. Do you know what I'm saying? We're at home. We don't concede many at home. Just forget about the Newport game. That's just like a one-off. We're good against Preston. Our whole squad will be itchy. They'll even the ones that didn't play. That'll still affect them to a certain extent. Do you know what I'm saying? Because the spirit, they'll be like, well, yeah, we'll show you how it's done. Do you know what I mean? So I expect a bit of that. I expect a definite good performance. So I'm quite confident that we'll get a result and probably the first win of the season.
Yeah, no, fair enough. I'm the same as you, to be fair. I do. Obviously, we're getting score predictions and that in a bit. I do think it will be tighter than what it has been in previous years when we've played Preston at home. But as you can see in the title, let's get a win this weekend. Let's come on. Like, we were, we was lacking that final third against Birmingham at home. Burnley, we looked good, especially in that first half. So, being at home, obviously, in the league, we only lost there 4 times last season. Come on, let's keep making this a fortress in the league. Obviously, I know we've only played there once, but we've not lost yet. So come on, let's just try and get that and make that happen. But yeah, I do think it will be tougher than what it has been in previous years against Preston. I do think that's what I will say. So yeah, that's what I've got to say about that. What we'll move on to now, we'll just go straight into the lineup. So I'll go with what I would go with, and if you agree, Dad, then feel free. I'm going to share the screen this time because I've done a formation I'll go with. So I'll go with a 5-2-1-2, which is obviously got the wing backs, 3 centre backs, 2 midfielders, and then a cam in front.
Yeah.
So as for goalkeeper, obviously going to be Ethan. Return of him in goal. So yeah, the back 3, obviously Bradley in the centre. Where is he? There he is. And then obviously I'm going to go with I'm going to go Osho actually, no, hold on. I'm going to go Burke. I'm going to go Burke there. Why is this not? There he is. Instead of Osho, actually, I am going to go with Potts. I'm going to go with Potts.
Yeah, that's what I think as well, because he's done all right, really.
Yeah, he has. Yeah.
And at the moment, while we're waiting to bring someone else in, I think that he probably will start.
Yeah. It doesn't. Oh, what is this doing? It's not letting me put him in for some reason. Right, there we go. And then the wing backs, obviously, I'm going to go with Bree and Bell. That's straightforward.
Yeah, 100%.
Especially after their performances against Burnley, you can't really, argue with that, in my opinion. Where is he? There he is. And then the midfield, I'm going to go with, I'm going to go Campbell. In the centre, obviously. Actually, let me type up his first name because it never. Oh. There he is. So I'm going to go Campbell, and then as the cam, I'll go into the other midfielder in a minute. As for a cam, I'm going to go Freeman. Phil, his last 2 performances in the league have been exceptional. And then as for the other midfielder, I'm going to go with... Probably will go Clark.
Yeah.
There he is. And then the 2 up top, Elijah, definitely. I think some people are acting a bit mad with some of his performances, to be honest. And then the other side, I'm going to go Morris. I'll be honest, I weren't too impressed with Cornick the other day, and obviously I weren't impressed with Woodrow either. So that's the lineup I would go with. Any changes you'd make there?
No, that's basically exactly the same. And Woodrow pretty much potentially, but I feel like Morris is ahead of him. Cornick's not, I think obviously Nathan Jones knows going, he's not quite up to scratch. The midfield, you've got Freeman has been playing very well in the last 2 games. Campbell's a definite starter. Clark's been playing all right. I'm not going to be putting Berry in there at the moment, or Lansbury in there, or I think Doughty's injured. Whatever is injured.
Yeah, he's still injured, I believe. Yeah.
Osho, I'll give a rest. I'll put him on the bench. Bring Bradley back. I'd start Potts, can't he scored in last game. Is a couple of it. Oh yeah, he was out of position or whatever. But he hasn't played a lot of football over the last couple of seasons. You know what I'm saying? But he's still decent enough. And when he was a regular for us, he was good. Just give him that chance, innit? Yeah. Bell, man of the match in the last game. Bell and Bree, we need them. They're established now, have been for quite a few months. It's just tinkering around, getting your best midfield combination at the moment. That works. Campbell has to start free. It works. It's been like that last couple of games. We just need to click. But then we don't forget we've got the 5 changes, so I expected a strong bench still. And we'll see if anyone's come back from injury or anyone's chomping at the bit to get on. And the thing is, with our bench as well, and these 5 substitutes, you can tinker with your formation as well a little bit now. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which is kind of think what we were doing, but it's not too much. I think did we do it against Burnley? Put 2 attacking players on. We had 4 attacking players on at one point or something like that. With Woodrow, Adebayo, Morris, Cornick potentially, I think. But yeah, that's the lineup I'd settle for.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I'm gonna go through some comments. Stoke are in. Obviously, Huddersfield fans not confident whatsoever. Obviously, they got Stoke tomorrow. Stoke are in for the easiest game of the season tomorrow. Jeez.
Possibly, but you never know in the Championship. So don't.
I think my prediction. I think I went with a fairly close one. I can't remember exactly. So I think said 2-1 to Stoke. I think this might be where Dwight Gale scores again. I reckon. But birthday tomorrow, so 3 points would be great. Present, yeah, no, absolutely, mate. And big up yourself, and happy birthday to you, because I will not be doing any content tomorrow. So there you go. Huddersfield getting put in a spliff again. Oh dear. Got to be Clark outstanding so far. Yeah, I thought Burnley, he was trying a little bit too much. But yeah, they're the main 3 right now for me in the midfield. Doherty near a return, apparently. So there you go. That's another option when it comes to it. So yeah. Neil Warnock is a guest at the game tomorrow. We could do with him on the touchline. Thanks. But yeah, it's that time, Dad. Score predictions. We're at home. Can we get the first victory of the season in the league?
I think so. Obviously we've got that game in the back of our mind, but you can't, because it was a totally different team and stuff like that. Base it on the team that's played so far and the quality of the players there. We should be dominating them in possession, and we should be creating plenty of chances. We might have an off moment, I reckon, possibly, but we'll see. But I reckon we'll beat them 3-1.
3-1. Fair enough.
I think Adebayo gets his first goal of the season.
Yeah, hopefully that'll be good. As for my score prediction, like I said, I think it'll be a closer game this time round than what it has been in previous years with Preston. But I do back us to win this. I do think this is where we get our first win. I think it's going to be a tight one. I think it could be one of them games. I think I said to you the other day where I could look at it and go, at the end, to all the people that go, because unfortunately I'm not going tomorrow, to all the people that go and when they're walking out of the ground, they could be like, we done it. Nice. I reckon it could be one of them sort of games. So yeah, I'm going with a 2-1. I'm going with a 2-1 to Luton. I think there'll be 1 goal in it. I was thinking of 1-0, but I do think they'll score. I'll go 2-1. Manny says, I want us to get Dyche. Well, anyone but the manager you've got. That's what you lot want there. Do you know what I mean? And from what I've seen, I do not blame you lot. But yeah, Dad, is there anything else you want to say about the game or anything like that? Wrap that up pretty quickly.
Yeah, no, just like I said already, keep the faith and don't be surprised if we do get that. If we turn in a 5-star performance tomorrow.
Yeah.
That'd be the ideal situation. But again, small back performance. I'm not taking too much from the Newport game because there was still some good aspects from that game. It wasn't like, we were lucky to score or anything like that. We showed our quality. On another day, that wouldn't have happened, but it did. We're a championship team. Let's not forget that we're established. Preston will be coming there to get a point or just not concede early on and things like that.
Yeah, 100%.
It's getting closer and closer. The way they're gelling, it's still early in the season, but I still think we're good enough to get a result. And kind of, we don't need it, but it would give it a little bounce on the step, and then even then I think we've got Bristol City away after that.
Yeah, Bristol City, midweek. Yeah.
Which is going to be very feisty, so we need to have a little bit, a bit more confidence. Because the thing is, if we draw again or lose, it does get harder. Don't matter how good a team you are, whatever. Like, it's in the back of your mind. Like, when we need to get that first win, and you're trying too hard and things like that. So, I think we're good enough to get it, and then we can start pacing out for the season. There.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Big up yourself. Agreed with what you both said 100%. Big up yourself for that.
Thank you. Nice one.
I've had my cat in charge. Preston at average, you should win. Yeah, like I said, I think they have a lot of confidence due to midweek. I don't really know. I didn't watch it, and I don't know if they rotated or whatever. They'll have a little bit of confidence from that, but it's a completely different game. Like we said, we're at home. How good we are at home. Like I said, we only lost 4 times there last season. I think they'll come here and come there and try and get a point, like my dad said. And we'll be playing a different team. It's as simple as that. So it's going to be a completely different one. But yeah, we're both back in the town to get their first win. And yeah, hopefully we can. And then obviously we'll be back again on probably on Monday for the next Hatter Show to obviously preview Bristol City and obviously talk about this game. But yeah, like I said as well, I'll unfortunately not be going to this game. I don't know the next game I'll be going to, but I will be able to watch it. We'll both be watching it, and I'm sure we'll speak to each other after the game or during it or something like that, Dad.
Yeah, 100%.
So we'll be doing that. But yeah, that is the end of the Hatter Show episode 51. So yeah, hopefully you all enjoyed it. Big up everyone. It does tell me 98 people are inside here, but probably most of them are bots. I'm not going to lie. But if you are new, please do subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Smash a like on the stream as well. And yeah, share the channel. Please subscribe to my other channel as well, T-Boys TV Extra. Link to that is in the description. And if you want to follow me across any of my socials, link to them are also in the description. So yeah, until the next Hatter Show on Monday, we will see you lot in a bit. Big up everyone that joined the stream today. Obviously, I've done Premier League ones earlier as well. Please check that one out if you haven't already. Big up everyone that did. And yeah, I will see you lot in a bit. And so will my dad. So take care and peace.